Hello everyone, welcome to the UPSC CSAT course by Kalam IAS Academy. We will continue our CSAT topics, and today's CSAT topic is Direction Sense. Again, very interesting topic which is part of LR section, the logical reasoning section of the CSAT paper. Every year at least one and sometimes even two questions come from this topic, and it is one of the easiest topics in the entire CSAT paper. You have to just simply plot what is being asked and you will easily get your answer. Direction sense, it means generally the direction in which a person or the vehicle or a object is moving, and that helps in identify the distance between the initial point and the final point. So it involves a person moving, like the question involves the person moving certain distances in specific directions. Then the student is asked to find the distance between the initial and the final points. The easiest way of solving these problems is to draw a diagram, because we have to visualize the things. We have to draw the diagram as per the given problem, as per the information given in the problem, and ensure that diagram reflects all the information. So we'll learn how to draw these diagram. First, let's understand the all the possible directions which are usually asked by UPSC, and then it's very simple to attempt all the problems related to direction sense. So let's start from the north. So if this is the center point, the north is at the top of the person standing, and this is north. Then south is below, in the below position to the person standing here at the center point. West is towards the left and east is towards the right. The direction between north and east is known as northeast. The direction between east and south is known as southeast. Like as you see, the first letter is north or south, and the second letter is east or east. Here also, the position between west and south is known as southwest. Again, first letter is south and second letter is west, and the position between west and north is northwest. And again, first letter is north and second letter is west. So you can also visualize from the map of India. Suppose we draw a map of India, something like this. Please pardon me for my bad drawing. So if it is, we are sitting here, north is this, the Jammu Kashmir region of India. South is the southern states, this is south, this is north. West is Gujarat, Rajasthan region, and east is the northeastern part of India, Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, etc. And the directions between these direction is, this is southeast, this is northeast, this is northwest, and this is southwest. So you can also visualize from the map of India, and this also is a simple way to visualize things. Now that is the only thing required in this topic. You don't have to mug up any formulas. You have to just remember all these directions, and once you are capable of doing it, you have to just apply simple logic and you can get the answer. So moving on, as far as the theory part is concerned, that is the only theory part we had to do in this topic. Now we will solve questions, because as we solve more questions, we will get the clarity, and we can easily arrive at the answer. So you have another 1 minute. Understand this question, just plot it, try drawing it, and then we can start solving it. So in this case, it is said that there are two friends X and Y. They start running and they run together for 50 meter in the same direction. So suppose the starting position is here and there are two friends, they are running for 50 meter in the same direction. Suppose the direction is north. So they are running 50 meters in the same direction. X turns right and runs 60 meter. Now X is going this way towards the right for 60 meters, and Y turns left and runs 40 meters. Y turns left and runs 40 meters. So this is Y for 40 meters. Now then X turns left and runs 50 meters and stops. Now if X is standing here, his left will be this position and he is running 40 meters to the left, while the Y turns right. Now for Y, the right is again this position and runs 50 meter and then stops. Now Y runs 50 meters and then stops. The X turns left and runs 50 meters, apologies, not 40 meters, and Y also turns right and runs 50 meters and stops. So both have run in the same distance. How far are the two friends from each other now? So X is at the final position here, Y is at the final position here. The distance between these two is, as we can simply see, 40 plus 60, that is 100 meters. Again, a very simple question. This 50 meters was just to distract you, because we have to find the distance between the endpoints. So distance between endpoints X and Y is this 40 meters plus 60 meters, because they are moving in different direction, and again this 50 meters and this 50 meters is same for both of these people. So final answer will be 40 plus 60, that is 100. I hope this question was quite simple, and see, again, this was asked in last year UPSC only, 2022. So very simple basic questions come from this topic. Moving on to the next question. You have another 1 minute. Let's solve it and try solving it, and then we'll discuss it. I hope everyone has solved it. Again, a very simple question. You have to just visualize and plot the question, and you can arrive at the answer. A bank employee drives 10 km towards south from her house and turns to her left and drives another 20 km. Suppose this is the starting point, that is her house. She drives 10 km towards south. So she is going south 10 kilometers and then turns to her left. Now she is going in this direction, so left will be in this position, and which is 20 kilometers. She again turns left. For this position, left will be this and drives for 40 kilometers. So she goes something like this, and this is 40 kilometers. I'll just redraw it. 40 kilometers to the left, and then she turns to her right and drives for another 5 kilometers. So this is her 5 kilometers. She turns 5 kilometers. She again turns to her right and drives another 30 kilometers. Now again she travels 30 kilometers. Something like this. If you see, this will be exactly something like this. This will be 30 kilometers, right? Because if you see, 40 is this distance and 10 is this distance. So this distance will be exactly 30. So she stops at this point. This was her starting point and this is end point, start and end. What is the shortest distance between her bank and her house? This was her house. Let's mark it, house, the start point. End point was E point, which is her bank. The shortest distance we know will be this, because this is a simple straight line, no slope or no vertical distances or diagonal distances involved. So this distance we know is 20 kilometers and this distance we know is 5 kilometers. So final distance will be 20 plus 5, that is 25 kilometers. Answer is option B. Again, a very simple question. You have to just plot what is given in the question and draw the route of the person who is going from initial position to the final position, and just keep a track of distances. So you will get your answer, because she is exactly at the same initial point where she started, because this is 10, this is 40, so 40 minus 10 is 30, and she also drives 30 to the south, and this simply we have to add this number and this number. So it is 20 plus 5, 25 kilometers. Moving on to the next question. You have another 1 minute and then we will solve this question. Now in this, it is given, consider the question and two statements given below. There are three cities PQR in a state, and we have to find the question. The question is, how far is city P from city Q? Statement 1 is, city Q is 18 kilometers from city R. Suppose this is city Q and this is city R. It is 18 kilometers. City P is 43 kilometers from city R. Now city P is 43 kilometers from city R. City P can be at this place, city P can be at this place, city P can be at this place. Suppose we have three scenarios. This is 43 kilometers, this is also 43 kilometers, this is also 43 kilometers. Now we have to find how far is city P from city Q. City P and city Q, there are three possible positions, P1, P2, P3. In each of these three positions, the distance between P and Q is different. In this case, it is this distance. in this case it is this distance, and in this case it is this distance. So we cannot tell concretely what is the distance between P and Q. So which of the following is correct in respect to the question and the statement? Statement 1 is not sufficient because that just gives distance between P and R, not between P and Q. So this is wrong. Statement 2 is alone sufficient. No, city P is 43 kilometers, city R. So distance between these two are given, which again does not give the value of the distance between Q and P. Again, statement 2 is not sufficient. Even both the statements given together are not sufficient because position of P is not given with respect to the position of R. So it can have multiple distances as we have seen. These are just 3 examples, there can be many more. So again, both are not sufficient. So answer will be D. Both the conditions are not sufficient to answer the question. So with this, we can see just again visualizing things, plotting them on a diagram, and then arriving at the answer is key to the problem. Coming to the next question. You have another 30 seconds. Try attempting the question and then we'll discuss it. In this question, it is given a man walks down the backside of his house straight 25 meters. Suppose this is the house of the person and he walks backside of the house straight 25 meters. So he goes from here 25 meters and then turns to the right and walks 50 meters again, 50 meters towards the right. So if he is going this way, 50 meters towards the right will be something like this, 50 meters, and he turns towards left. Now if he is going like this, his left will be this, and he walks 25 meters again. This is the, if his house faces to the east, what is the direction from the starting point? Now this is the starting point and house is facing towards the east. Now what is the final position here? This is the final position. As we can see, just plotting it on this axis type of graph, this is the starting point and he is at somewhere at this position. So you can see this is north, this is west, this is east, and this is south. So this position is northwest. So answer will be option C. Again, a very simple problem, no need of applying maths, just to visualize things and then plot it as given in the question and then compare with the final direction this way, so that you don't do a mistake and you arrive at the answer, which in this case is northwest. Sorry for this, not northeast, northwest, option D. Moving on to the next question. We have another 1 minute to solve this question. Again, a very simple problem, you have to just visualize and then you can arrive at the answer. In this question, there are three towns P, Q and R. The distance between P and Q is 60 meters. Suppose here is the P and here is the Q. The distance between P and Q is 60 kilometers, whereas the distance between P and R is 80 kilometers. Now we don't know the direction of P, Q and R with respect to each other. Now Q is in west of P. Now if P is here, Q is in west of P, this is correct, and R is in south of P. So R here is south of P, and distance between P and R is 80 kilometers. Now what is the distance between Q and R? We have to find this distance. Now this is simple right angle triangle. We can easily apply Pythagoras theorem. That is like Pythagoras theorem. PQ square plus PR square equals to QR square. I hope everyone knows this formula. This formula we have been learning since our third or fourth class in the schools. Now PQ is 60 square plus 80 square and this under root. This is equal to QR. This comes out to be 2400. Oh, sorry, my mistake. 3600 plus 6400. This is one. The answer is 100 kilometers. That is option Delhi. Again, simple problem. You have to just plot what is given and then you can arrive at the answer. Putting the value of PQ here, PR here and QR. Simply Pythagoras theorem is applied and we can arrive at the answer, which is equals to 100 kilometers. You have to just plot the thing that is being asked and simply see what can be done to arrive at the answer in minimum time and maximum accuracy. Coming to the next question. This is slightly long question. You will need more time to visualize what is happening, plot it and then we'll discuss it. For this question you have 2 minutes. In this question, A started from his house and walked 20 meters towards east, where his friend B joined him. Suppose A, this is the starting point for A. He walked 20 meters, where B also joined him. They together walked 10 meters in the same direction. So they go another 10 meters in the same direction. Then A turned left while B turned right and traveled 2 meters and 8 meters respectively. A walked 2 meters, A, and B walked 8 meters. Again B turned left to travel 4 meters. Now B is going in this direction, so left for B will be this direction. And he traveled 4 meters, followed by 5 meters to his right to reach his office. To his right. Now if he is walking in this direction, right will be this, and this is 5 meter. So this is office of B. A turned right and traveled 12 meters to reach his office. 12 meters, something like this, to reach his office of A. What is the shortest distance between the two offices? Now if you just visualize these things, I'll just plot it. Now this is the initial line. We have to find this distance, that is shortest distance between office A and office B. Now just extending these lines, we can see this is a triangle that is being formed. This is the triangle, this is the base of the triangle. Now this is 12 meters, this is 4 meters. So this distance will be 12 minus 4, that is 8 meters. And this distance is 2, this distance is 8, and this distance is 5. So total distance this will be 2 plus 8 plus 5, that is 15. So this is a right angle triangle. The base length is 8 and the height is 15. So this hypotenuse distance, this is again Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse we know will be under root of 8 square plus 15 square, which is equals to under root of 289, which is equals to 17 meters. So the shortest distance will be option B, 17 meters. I hope the problem was clear. You have to just again visualize the things, very simple things, and keep on plotting the things as they are given in the same order, and then try to find what geometry is getting formed. In this case it was a right angle triangle with this distance coming out to be 2 plus 8 plus 5, and this distance coming out to be this is 12 and this is 4. So you have to find effectively this distance, which is 12 minus 4, 8. Now it is 8 meters, 15 meters, a right triangle, and you can simply apply Pythagoras formula to get the length of the hypotenuse. That is the shortest distance between OA and office of A and office of B. Moving on to the next question. Again a simple question which is framed in a tricky language to confuse you. Just clearly understand the question and solve it. You will easily arrive at the answer. So in this question, it is given a person climbs a hill in a straight path from point O on the ground in the direction of northeast. So suppose this is the point O and we know northeast direction. This is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. Northeast is this direction. So in O is going in northeast direction. After traveling a distance of 5 kilometers, he reaches point A. So this is 5. Then from point A, he moves to point B in the direction of northwest. Now from this figure we know northwest is this position. So from A, he is going in northwest position. Let the distance AB be 12 kilometers. He reaches point B and this AB is 12 kilometers. Now how far is the person away from the starting point O? This is the initial point, this is the final point, and we have to find distance between OB. Again, as you see, this is 5, this is 12 and this is a right angle triangle. Again, we can simply apply Pythagoras theorem to find hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is the distance between initial point and the final point. So Pythagoras we can apply, which is under root 12 square plus 5 square, which is under root 144 plus 25, which is under root 169 plus 13 kilometers. Answer is option B, 13 kilometers. Again, a simple question. You have to just visualize and plot the things, and just remember this diagram we had discussed earlier in the slide also, and then simply apply the Pythagoras formula to find the distance between the initial and the final points. Moving on to the next question. Again, you have 1 minute, attempt it, and then we'll solve the question. In this question, it is given a person walks 12 km due north and then 15 km due east. After that, 19 km due west and then 15 km due south. How far he is from the starting point? So it is said a person walks. So suppose it is the starting point. He walks 12 km north. This is 12. Then 15 kilometers due east. 15 kilometers due east. After that, 19 km due west. So this is the starting point. He goes north 12 kilometers, 15 kilometers east, and after that 19 km due west. So from east he goes 19 km due west. So 15 kilometers same direction, and then 4 km extra. This is 4. So it is at this point, and then 15 kilometers due south. So this is 15 kilometers due south. This was the initial point and this is the final point. How far is from the starting point? We have to find this distance. Now this distance is 4 because this and this is same, and this distance will be 15 minus 12, which is equals to 3. So as we see, this is a right angle triangle again. which is 4 meter here, 4 kilometer here and 3 kilometer here. And this again is the hypotenuse which we have to find, that is distance between initial and the final points. So hypotenuse is equals to under root 3 square plus 4 square, which is equals to 5 kilometers. Option A. Again, simply you have to just visualize thing and plot them. Starting point is there, 12 kilometer north, 15 kilometer east, then 19 kilometer west from this point. So effectively 15 backwards and 4 this west side, and then 15 kilometers south. So effectively this much is 12 and 3 extra. So the triangle becomes 4 kilometer, 3 kilometers, and hypotenuse is 5 kilometers. And that is the distance between initial and the final points. Moving on to the next question. You have another 1 minute. This is very interesting question. This will take some time. Just do proper plotting of the grids and then you can easily arrive at the answer. You have 2 minutes for this question. In this question, it is given a person X was driving in a place where all roads ran either north-south or east-west, forming a grid. Roads are set at a distance of 1 meter from each other in a parallel. He started at the intersection of two roads. Now, roads are either in north-west, north-south or east-west. Suppose we have roads like this, since all the roads are parallel. And now the roads are forming a grid because they are running crisscross. This is east-west direction roads, and all the roads are placed at a distance of 1 unit distance. Now suppose the person starts, you can draw one more. All these are squares, grid squares, each side having unit distance of 1 kilometer. He started at an intersection of two roads. Suppose he starts at this point. Drove 3 kilometer north. 1, 2, 3. He reaches this point. 1, 1, 1. 3 kilometer west. Again 1, 2, 3. 3 kilometer west. And 4 kilometers south. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 kilometers south. So this is the starting point, point B, point C, point D, 4 kilometers south. Which further route could bring him back to his starting point if the same route is not repeated? Which further route could bring him back to the starting point? Now he is at this point D and he has to return to the point A. What route should he take to arrive at the point A? 3 kilometer east. Now we have to check by options because there are multiple ways of reaching A. So rather than we thinking we should just check the options and whichever option is correct, we should tick it. 3 kilometers east and then 2 kilometers south. 3 kilometers east will be 1, 2, 3 and then 2 kilometers south. He will go somewhere here which is not required. He has to go north. So first option is wrong. Coming to the next option, 3 kilometer east and 1 kilometer north. 3 kilometer east is 1, 2, 3 and 1 kilometer north. Yes, this is correct option because with this he will reach the initial position, then option B is correct. If we check this 1 kilometer north, let's check the other option. It is 1 kilometer north, that is 1 kilometer north and 2 kilometer west. This will go somewhere here which is not required, and D option is 3 kilometers south. 3 kilometers south from this position will be something like 1, 2, 3 somewhere here, and then 1 kilometer north, he will be somewhere here. So only option B is satisfying the condition and rest all other paths are taking at different places. Again a very interesting question. You have to just plot the graph on a grid and then you can arrive at the answer. Moving on to next question. You have another 1 minute and then we can solve it. In this question it is given Shahid and Rohit start from the same point in opposite direction. So suppose they are starting from the same point. Shahid goes left and right and Rohit goes east and west. So suppose this is Shahid, this is Rohit. After each 1 kilometer Shahid always turns left. So suppose Shahid is, we can just interchange them because in this direction suppose this is Rohit, this is Shahid. Now after each 1 kilometer Shahid always turns left. So this is 1 kilometer, now he turns left, again turns left, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer. And Rohit always turns right, 1 kilometer, now turning right 1 kilometer, again turning right 1 kilometer. Now let's see the options. After both have travelled 2 kilometers, the distance between them is 4 kilometers. After both have travelled 2 kilometers, that means 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer. They both are at, Shahid is at this position and Rohit is at 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, this position. But the distance between these two is 1 plus 1, 2 kilometers, not 4 kilometers. So option A is wrong. They meet after each has travelled 3 kilometers. Now they are meeting at this point. This is start point, this is final point. After travelling 3 kilometer, 1, 1, 1. Also 1, 1, 1. Yes, this is true because After each one of them has traveled 3 kilometers, they meet at F. So option is B. B option is correct. They meet for the first time after each has traveled 4 kilometers. No, this is wrong because as we saw in the previous option, they are meeting after each one has traveled 3 kilometers. They go on without ever meeting again. No, this is also wrong because we see they are meeting after traveling 3 kilometers. Again, a very simple question. You have to just plot what is given and logically draw the diagram. You will get the answer. Moving on to next question. This is a quite interesting question. Just understand what is being asked and then you will arrive at the answer. In this question, it is said that a person goes from A to B, always moving to right or downwards along the lines. How many different routes can he adopt? So the person A can move either right or downwards, and he has to reach from point A to point B. And how many different routes are possible? So starting from point A, we can have different routes, like he can go from point A like this and this. He can go this. He can go first southwards, then this. He can also go this. He can also go like this and this. So you can see there are multiple ways. Let's plot them separately. First is going like this and this. This is first method. Second is like this. This is the second method. Third is going like this. This also is a method. Fourth is going like this. This is fourth method. Fifth is straight away going south, and this is the fifth method. Sixth method can be this. This is sixth method. I think we have covered all the methods. Let me check again. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes, we have covered all the methods, and so we have 6 ways he can adopt. Again, no mathematics required, just normal logic we have to apply. No need to apply any formulas or learn any formulas. Just apply simple logics and you can arrive at the answer. So we have 6 possible routes in this question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make all the possible routes and you can arrive at the answer. Only thing we have to keep in mind is he can move right or downwards. Moving on. We have another 1 minute and then we'll discuss this question. In this question, it is given there are 6 villages and we have to find which 3 villages are in a single line. Again, you have to just plot the position and then we can arrive at the answer. F is 1 kilometer west of D. Suppose D is here. F is 1 kilometer west of D. B is 1 kilometer to the east of E. Suppose E is here. It is 1 kilometer east of E. So if E is here, B will be somewhere here because it is east of E. A is 2 kilometer to the north of E. So A is 2 kilometer. Suppose this is E, this. A will be somewhere here because 1, 1. C is 1 kilometer to the east of A. No, C will be again somewhere here. 1 kilometer to the east of A. D is 1 kilometer to the south of A. Here is A, D is 1 kilometer south of A. Which 3 villages are in a line? So from this we can see A, D, E. They all 3 are in a single line. F, C, B are at different places. So option will be A, D, E. Option B. Again, simple plotting we have to do. Just see which village is placed where and you can easily arrive at the answer. Moving on to the next question. You have another 1 minute and then we will solve this question. In this question, it is given houses of A and B face each other on a road going north-south. Suppose this is the road going north-south and houses of A and B face each other. Suppose A is here, house of A, and B is here, and they are facing each other. This is A house, this is B house. A being on the western side, yes. So this is west, this is east, this is north, this is south. A comes out of his house and turns left, travels 5 kilometers. So A comes out of his house, travels, turns left and travels 5 kilometers somewhere here. Turns right, travels 5 kilometers to the front of D's house. Turns right and travels 5 kilometers in front of D house. B does exactly the same and reaches the front of C house. So B comes out, turns left for 5 kilometers, travels, and then turns right, travels 5 kilometers and comes in front of C house. In this context, which one of the following is correct? C and D live on the same street. No, as we can see, C and D are living on opposite streets. So option 1 is wrong. C's house faces south. As we see, like C's house is facing east because this direction is of east and not of south, because it is saying B does exactly the same and reaches the front of C's house. So the front of C's house is this direction and this direction is of east and not of south. The houses of C and D are less than 20 kilometers apart. Now we have to find the distance between houses of C and D. This is something like this. We have to find this distance. So this is basically, there are two triangles, something like this, 5, 5, 5, 5. So this distance from here to here is a hypotenuse, which will be under root 5 square plus 5 square, and similar is the distance. So basically twice of this. This will be equals to 5 root 2 into 2, 10 root 2, which is approximately 10 into 1.41, which is equals to 14 kilometers, 14.1 kilometer. So the houses of C and D are less than 20 kilometers apart. So this statement is correct because they are around 14 kilometers apart and not 20 kilometers. So again, a simple problem, just visualize the houses given A and B here. They are opposite sides of the road and the road is running north to south. A turns left and then right, each of 5 kilometers. B turns left and then right to reach C. And now we have to find the distance between C and D, which is again a simple two right angle triangles. This distance we have to find. This is D, this is C. So this distance comes out to be 10 root 2, which is around 14 kilometers. I hope this topic is clear to all of you. Very simple topic. Just keep on plotting on what is given and just remember the direction which we usually do. And with this we can arrive at the answer. Thank you.